And here he comes, as we like to call him, the thrill from Brazil. The first player from the Americas to lift a prestigious World Cup, and of course, on the WTT series, he knows what it takes to win. But this will be bigger than anything.
From China, WANG CHUQIN!
And WANG CHUQIN knows what it takes to win in Macau, of course. These men are serial winners at different levels of WTT series. For WANG CHUQIN, he took home the titles in 2022 and 2023 in this very event. That's the caliber of the contest we have. It's the best of 7 games, remember, and we've just seen the women's singles final go all the way. So don't make too many plans. This one could be similarly epic. Well, I've already told you a few things about the head-to-head, but he's the legendary Wong Hao with some last words of instruction for WANG CHUQIN. In a moment, you'll be hearing from Adam Bobrow. He's just gathering his breath after that epic final call and the trophy presentation. His thoughts on this in just a moment. Now the coin toss.
Okay, I have blue and red. What color for you? Blue. So red for you. And we have red. You want one. Which side?
So, CHUQIN wins the toss. This is just the start of something special. Adam, great to have you here. Who else would want to be here but Adam in terms of talking about...
Yeah, the rivalry, you never know on any given day. HUGO Calderano, when he's confident, has so much power, and WANG CHUQIN is well calculated, he's explosive, he's got an undying effort. That's why they call him Lionheart. Hope. We'll see. That throne awaits, just a question of time.
Lawful.
And wherever you're watching this, thanks so much for being with us. I was just down by the table for that post-match interview. My ears are still ringing from the noise. We can have something similar here if this one takes off.
I like the first point for HUGO in terms of the quality of the push. You think of HUGO, you think power. And on the third ball, he didn't force an attack. He calmly, smoothly pushed long with surprise.
But he's up against somebody who has looked so electric at times here, particularly, as you said, over the last couple of rounds.
Particularly over the table. That ball's way inside the baseline. Just high enough to take advantage of.
Then the variation on the service even early on here, going deep into Calderano to square it up at 2-2.
Good idea there. Has the opening on the parallel.
Stop. No flash, please.
That was a last-minute call from our umpire. Bit of crowd control.
There's a temptation to play the high percentage shot under pressure. That said, HUGO is incredibly clever and knows that if he does, it's not going to help his chances. So he tries to play that back on the parallel.
There he is. There'll be plenty of more chances to admire, to marvel, to wow at that. But that is CHUQIN doing what he does, spinning to the right, the ball flying into the distance.
The confidence behind this shot in the leg sweep, it's so iconic. We only saw it later in the match in his last round or two. This is an early start, and he's taking HUGO quite seriously from the very, very get-go.
And further to that point, Adam, in terms of preparation for this final, remember both played semi-finals earlier on today. They couldn't have wished for a faster, easier, smoother path. Both getting it done very quickly. Full focus on what comes right now, the final.
Clever play from under the table. He spins it, keeps it shallow, so the ball never jumps out to where Wang Chuqin gets a comfortable opportunity. Wang Chuqin had to play that from knee height.
Left. 4-all. Left. 4-all.
Ooh, awkward ball left on the table as Hugo brushes that and leaves it middle of the table. Think about how many times we've seen Wang Chuqin drill anything that sits up at all over the table. Calderano, well, he's good behind the table. He's going to fight to stay as close as possible whenever possible.
Again, just over the table. He has a glimpse of an opportunity, and in a flash, it's taken.
Yeah, he turns that racket down quickly, and then just a little bit more backswing for that extra snap. Oh, short side of the table. In a rally like this, Wang Chuqin's getting all prepared for the main course on the backhand corner. And Hugo says, sorry, wrong destination.
Oh, look at that.
little head shake there.
Interestingly, he went back to the player instead of going for the wide open table there, Calderano. It worked nonetheless.
I thought that was a very clever receive. The way he did, I don't know if I've ever seen him do that. I watched a lot of Hugo play. It wasn't your typical push. It was like a chop block, except without much rotation on it. He just guided it wide to the forehand. There was all sorts of deception up in that shot. A lot of awkwardness in the rally, and it's Wang Chuqin who's able to put the pressure on and send Hugo behind. Heavy spin on the underspin, the push. Hugo Calderano has been using pushes in such a versatile way. I didn't expect push to be the MVP, the main topic of conversation in this match. It's only just the first game, but it's been quite stirring so far.
Again, so quickly into the table when he gets the chance. And that represented a chance by Chuqin standards. Again on the attack.
Yeah, talking about the push, it's worked well for Hugo, but this is what Wang Chuqin does. He finds ways to shut down what's working, and here he says, my specialty right now, putting the ball away. I'm going to earn that as quickly as I can and consistently do the deed. Even in the game of hot potato, as the whole Chinese team watches on, including the current world #1, depending on how long that lasts. It's been some time. A lot of credit to
February, I think. February was when they switched.
Yeah, I guess the question is how long will it last, though?
That's 4 points in a row now. What a time to turn it on. 2 game points for the #2 seed.
Much of the world wondered. After the WANG CHUQIN match, we heard the interview from Hugo Calderano. What if we were to see these two go at it when they're fresh and in form? Today they are fresh and in form. Little bit of fishing from Hugo. And it's a counterattack from behind the table. Ball kid almost with the leaping catch, but what a way to save game point. No man's land, but Hugo is the one man who can stand there. Obviously at the top of the game, a few, but good topspin on this, keeps it baseline, a lot of pressure, anticipates the inside-out forehand, and rockets back to save a game point.
But not this time. He wins it with that second service. The team cheers and celebrates, and that is a winning start for WANG CHUQIN. Not without its problems that game, but when it mattered, he came through.
Good placement there into the middle, subtle adjustments. There's a lot more going on than meets the eye. We do our best, but this is what makes them superheroes in our mind.
Defeat, not so.
Second game. Wang to serve. Love all.
Tight serve to start off game number 2. WANG CHUQIN, when he was asked to build his perfect player for serves, he said himself. And you can understand why. He sets up so many third balls. It's handcuffing inside the table. Your serve is so important, but if you have an incredibly good third ball, suddenly your serve puts that much more pressure on the receiver.
So he's receiving at the moment, but I'm fascinated in that point, Adam, because as we've already seen from CALDERANO, he has so much nuanced variation, and even way back off the table, he can be dangerous. So it looks as if CHUQIN, especially in this match, has said, well, let's not let that happen. Let's just end this, particularly on serve, and get in, step into the table where possible, and not allow the rallies to exchange, and not allow the Brazilian to demonstrate all those weapons he possesses.
Yeah, HUGO CALDERANO, incredibly powerful, but also really good in the rally, so yeah, WANG CHUQIN doing a wonderful job to shut it down. In the last round, HUGO did face a left-hander, Anders Lind, where he won 4-0. That's the only left-hander he's played since the round of 32, which was the start of this event. Now we're talking combination play, rock back on the heels and right back down the line. Not the first time we've seen a similar pattern from HUGO. This is, again, knowing the patterns. There's so little time, just such a very brief moment to recognize with peripheral vision. WANG CHUQIN saying, use that head. No need to reference old nicknames.
Left, 2, 4. 3, 4.
Of course, we've seen plenty of the high toss serve from HUGO CALDERANO. That's another little variation, isn't it, that's going to come to play here. And to a broader point, I know it's a gross generalization, but is there something about players who deliver something that the very best Chinese players don't always see? Maybe we've seen in recent times from Simon Gauzy to Truls Mordegaard, obviously to Anders Lind, something a bit different.
Yeah, well, with Anders, there's a ton different. Almost everything was different. But the players you just mentioned, a few of them are quite unconventional. Truls, who else did you mention?
Gauzy, I think, was the other one.
Yeah, I mean, these are all incredibly unconventional players that are not afraid to bring out trot blocks, strawberries, change of pace. Anders with some of the fastest, most powerful shots you could ever imagine. Soft hands, and he leaves the bait right there on the hook and trying to take it out of the cheek as he comes back for the forehand. WANG CHUQIN on the line here. And cross-court, it's HUGO CALDERANO getting the fish he wanted. Second time we've seen him shake his head like that in recent history.
Into that head shake, it's because he's playing CALDERANO, who has the capacity to do things like that. But on the balance of play, CHUQIN should be happy enough.
Well, we also saw him when he was up 7-0 slap his hip with some, I'd say, self-standards anger. But here he's been very vocal, unusually vocal, WANG CHUQIN in this match.
It might just tell you something about the respect he has, of course, for his opponent here, and the realization that he's up against somebody who is flying at the moment and going back over a period of months, quite some months. Calderano has just looked like someone waiting to end that elite level drought when it comes to the top series in the WTT. Whoa.
Nice bend to the wrist there to take backhand out wide to the wide forehand. Easier said than done, but against a left-handed player, if you can hit the wide forehand relatively early, tends to be effective. But again, depends on the occasion. Context means everything. Drills it into that middle on the backhand corner.
And that is to the liking of Bruna Takahashi, looking on, supporting all on her lonesome. She's there for him, though.
Protecting her ears, nonetheless. I've had my AirPods in all week.
Don't blame her. It is loud out there.
Crafty hand skills, the soft touch. Hugo's used that touch to set up winners before, but well adapted on the other side from the top seed left. Again, we're looking at the second seed in black with the headband on versus the number 4 seed. With all the upsets we've seen throughout this event, these two, well, to play to the semis was expected, at least. So not a crazy shock that they're here.
We've seen this before, Adam. Maybe he's a bit more in control of this game, but in the first, when it mattered, when they got to the business end of the game, CHUQIN just stepped up a little.
Little tongue there in the corner of the mouth to me says Hugo's got some conversation.
10-7.
There is no TTR, just a reminder, the Champions event. That said, players still can be warned for their serves on either side, for whatever reason the umpire or assistant sees fit. Top of the net, but full throttle, full speed ahead. That leaping, lunging Lionheart step as he pounces in and takes his second game. This is an in-form Wang CHUQIN.
The pounce of the Lion, I like that. He's done it throughout this match. And with that, he's taken the lion's share of the points and 2 games already. He's on top here against the Brazilian. You can hear some last instructions there from Wang Hao bellowed out above the hubbub here in the Infinity Arena to his player, who's in very strong position right now. He's taken the first 2 games against this dangerous opponent from Brazil, Hugo Calderano.
Third game, Calderano serve. Love ball.
Sorry, flash.
The words of Wang CHUQIN, who spotted that, I think.
Busted out a little English there, one of the team leaders in speaking English. See how active Wang CHUQIN is. If this ball comes over, he's got weight forward right behind the ball every time. He's moving in quickly. Watch this on the backhand. Just right there ready to take it before the ball even reaches its peak. Reaction time, super important in this game of decision making. As demonstrated here.
Because CHUQIN is looking sharp.
With all that power coming in to react, it takes a bit of time to recover. The full stroke, and then to get the racket back. If he plays a softball on the table, well, Wang CHUQIN will crush it. He didn't spend much returning the shot coming in. A good serve here to get on the scoreboard. Hugo Calderano. Still early parts of this game. You just can't let Wang CHUQIN run away, especially considering the context of where the match is at.
And there's another.
Think back to the first point of this match. It was the push of Hugo Calderano. And even for the first half of the first game. There were a lot of very successful pushes. It might be counterintuitive, and that might be what makes it so effective out here. When you prepare for Hugo Calderano, you prepare for power, you prepare for parallels, you prepare for rallies, speed, but surprise pushes?
We've actually spent quite a lot of time this week celebrating the humble push and talking about its unsung heroic qualities, much as the pace-off ball as well at times.
Yeah, it's important. I think, again, at the end of the match, nobody looks back and says, oh, you didn't attack enough to really take that title. You won the title. That's it.
3-5.
I also think, as I'll reference probably for as long as I'm in this seat, 2017 Men's Singles World Championships Final, where Ma Long beat Fan Zhendong. Attacking less. Opening the rally less on attack. And the reason I bring that up is Wang Chuqin, as we saw a few points ago, where Hugo had that ripping forehand, and Wang Chuqin very efficiently blocked it back, bought himself positioning in time.
At the moment, it's the defensive countering skills of Calderano that have pulled him within one.
Push, 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 and a slow spin. As you mentioned, defense, there's an element of guarded sort of caution. I've got the big guns, I've got the explosive shots, but until you prove to me that you're ready for something else, well, I'm going to give you something else time and time again.
He's dangerous there. We've seen him before.
Little clip off the net on the way down, but it's not the first time, as you mentioned, that from behind the table, a very athletic, very powerful Hugo Calderano is able to spin his way back.
This is some comeback, some run of points for the Brazilian.
It was down 0-4.
And again,
7-5.
you put a heat map here and look at success, and there's a period a few steps back on the right side of the table that Calderano's really profited from.
Yeah, this is smart placement here. That's a very tough ball to get on top of with the backhand, so it leaves Wang Chuqin either looking for a spin shot to the middle of the table or inside out. And look at that momentum. Calderano with 7 of the last 8 points. If there is to be a turning point in this match, Calderano would like it to be now. Very smart play from Wang Chuqin. Again, thinking to the tactics of Hugo with the push and waiting for the timing. He was baited into a ball that was below the net, just barely off the table. Still a decent shot, but at this level, decent won't cut it.
This comes as a surprise, doesn't it? That Calderano doesn't make that?
Exactly, and that's why we heard the roar out of Lionheart, because Hugo Calderano's so good in this rally. It was just played a little bit more onto his elbow. You could see him there pulling the elbow back and the hand behind the head a la Quadriaruna just to create space. Had that ball been a little bit more to his forehand, Calderano would have crushed it. Clever play from the world number 2. Can't get more quality than this, a spanking inside the table. Out of all the different threats that Wang Chuqin has brought to the game so far in this match, his over-the-table play has been impeccable. Interesting. We saw one attempted earlier against Anders Lind. But here, the score, the context is very different. Wang Chuqin getting back into this rally. It felt like from that far behind the table, he had time. In some senses, if he makes the shot, it could be quite rattling. You're not practicing against it. It's going to come back a different quality, much like his two-handed backhand.
He backs himself because he's pulled it off so many times.
Right.
The behind the back.
So not just a clever bump.
8-9.
But you're right. Pull that one off, and it's something you don't see. Gets in the head of the opponent. 8-9.
A pretty funny feeling if you looked in the practice hall. Wang Chuqin did not have a practice partner hitting him behind the back shots nor two-handed backhands.
I think I'm going to go along with you on that one.
Wow.
Another flash.
Tight serve, deceptive on the underspin. The last two-serve combination is with Wang Chuqin. It's either going to be 3-0 or 1-2 after this.
But what we've seen in the previous two games is it would suggest it becomes 3-0 because this is where he's just stretched away when they've got to the end of the previous two games.
Left.
And that's just recent historical precedent, nothing else. Chuqin's looked good at this point of the games.
To set up game point here, a half-long serve, and quickly on that third ball, a pattern that we've seen. Quick serve, quick attack. Second serve here, chance to put it away and take a 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 championship match.
And that's what he does. Chuqin doing it again. 3 games in a row now, and he moves within 1 game of that championship that you mentioned. This is the final here at WTT Champions Macau 2025. Is this going to be it? Are we going to see a straight games win? Or has HUGO CALDERANO got something special in him? And we know he does, but can he apply it now?
So in case you were curious about if this week's event has already been calculated into that race to the finals, Anders Lind does not have the points he's earned yet, nor does anybody from this week. So after the new world rankings come out Tuesday, so do the updated race to the finals rankings.
So that's just a subplot. That's the backstory to what's going on here. Right now, the immediate story is about who wins this title. And this man is looking a hot favorite right now.
Well, I'm sure much of the crowd would agree with you in terms of the adjectives there and the setup to this 4th game. Solid start right inside the baseline. Turns, and a lot of power comes through that forehand.
Be interesting to see whether Chuqin literally puts the foot down, stamps to go in search of this win now. Doesn't have to get it done in this game, but it would be the sort of thing he might do.
You're much hipper than I am. I still use literally in its old-fashioned sense. So right now, definitely the king of the jungle out here. Lionheart raises the fist and his score.
I was thinking about those forehands where he just stamps that foot down and gets it out of the way. That was the literally over.
Oh, fascinating.
There you go.
Oh, you turn your back on me, Holmes? Not this time. Oh, wow, La Pada. Latino flair, a slap back. We saw it in the last few days.
Where's Chuqin? He's over there shaking his head.
After being slapped like that, understandable. Just try to shake it off, get the blood flowing.
But he comes straight back with the point.
And in all fairness, how many times does that shot come back, let alone with the quality that it just did? On the rare occasion that Chuqin leaves the table open, it's usually for a reason. The ball doesn't come back. When you think you know and you're confirmed on what serve is coming, a quick pivot here. Wow.
come on from Paco, and he has to come on, and he has to come on strong, because Hugo Calderano, in this latest face-to-face encounter with Wang CHUQIN, is coming off second best, 3 down in games and points in what could be the deciding game in this match.
Shifty eyes, moments of suspense here.
But right now, the majority, the vast majority in this Infinity Arena are cheering. I've got eyes only on Wang CHUQIN.
Side of the table, that's CHUQIN's point. It's a different sound quality when it hits only the metal skirt around the table, but when it touches even just a bit, as Wang CHUQIN has scored 12 of the last 16 points. Man on a mission.
And that mission looks as if it's going to be stamped accomplished before too long, unless Calderano can do something in this cauldron into which he has stepped.
I like the fight. There was something about the body language in the point before that felt a little bit defeated. Again, he's good behind the table. We know he's a fighter. And suddenly, at the second towel break, while this scoreline is still very encouraging for Wang CHUQIN, it feels much more recoverable. It doesn't feel like the landslide that 8-2 looks like on the scoreboard.
And let's see how Calderano copes now with what's being served in his direction.
Under the table, Wang CHUQIN keeping it difficult. A very calculated, brushing stroke to spin it shallow.
After Hugo asked him a question by going very wide on the receive. And that's 2 out of 2 on service, earning 6 championship points to become a 3-time WTT Champions Macau winner and to take away the bigger of those 2 prizes. Is that. Deafening inside the Infinity Arena. His teammates admire a storming performance to this title here in Macau.
A spectacular finish from a man who did the same in the semifinals. And here today, he has stamped his paw with authority in the soil that he plays on. From being beaten to the China smash by Anders Lind to coming back 2025, this is the business end of the year, and it is quite a different look from 2024. The drop shot as Hugo tries to make a ball that would come back over the net. This could be what many fans hope for, to see their king, Wang CHUQIN, at the top of the food chain once again. What touch, the drop shot.
He won it with a drop shot. How cool was that?
Most of the world wants to know why people don't try this more. And Wang CHUQIN isn't helping prove the point that it's incredibly difficult to do, as he masterfully caresses that ball, slows it down, and the head nod from Hugo Calderano says, you deserved it. You're just on another level. Number 1, that's him.